Greetings comrades and welcome to the new video. Today we are making the almighty baklava.
Ей, Михлюс, baklava ли ще правиш бе?
While baklava is considered a Middle Eastern pastry and dessert, we here in Bulgaria also prepare it. It has tons of varieties with a tons of stuffing. But typically in my family and in Bulgaria most people use walnuts. And babushka had her special edition in the form of a little bit of just plain crackers into the nut mixture which we will use. There are a ton of fillings, as I said, like pistachios, even almonds, hazelnuts, and yeah, basically some version of nuts.
С орехи е най-добра.
The most commercial one is with pistachios, but here they cost like a small fortune. That's why I think we use walnuts, and maybe the other reason is that there are walnuts in every village house here in Bulgaria. This is the idea of today's video, to show you the authentic version that babushka used to prepare baklava. We typically prepare it for holidays like Christmas, but I like to prepare it every time I want something extra sweet. And now let's see how it is prepared.
Не може да направи хубава.
For the baklava, first we'll need to make an overview of the products. Of course, we'll need some phyllo dough. I have 400 grams of store-bought phyllo dough. I don't have the skills to prepare my homemade version, but if you have and you have prepared it, go with it. I have some around 100 grams of butter, around 200 grams of sugar. Again, it's a personal preference on how sweet it would be. Some people add 400 grams, but I like it a little bit less sweeter. And our filling will consist of around 200 grams of walnuts and 4 to 5 of these crackers, which we Slavs call plain biscuits. And yeah, for Brits, I know this has nothing to do with biscuits, and it has even less to do with gravy. And this is a lemon. It's quite important in my opinion for the sauce. You can also add cinnamon. I will skip it for today's video. I just don't enjoy it in baklava. And some vanilla, which again I think is essential for the syrup. So yeah, add some vanilla. If you have real vanilla, it would work too. This is an artificial version. The first step of preparing our baklava is to grind our walnuts and our crackers. And I'll do that basically at the same time. I'll grind them both. And make sure not to process them for a long time. We still want some walnut pieces, like small walnut pieces, not only walnut powder basically. And after that, time to melt our butter like really fast. And yeah, that's basically it. Now it's time to start preparing the baklava. Oil a pan, or how I like to call it, a tava, and start ordering your baklava. Start with 2 sheets and oil with some butter with the brush. And after that you need to oil every sheet, like put a sheet and oil it, put a sheet and oil it.
Намажи повече масло.
And basically when you're halfway there with your sheets and you have buttered them all, it will be time to add half of your filling of walnuts and crackers. Yep. And after that continue with adding some sheets. Add sheets until you have 2 sheets left, which will be for the top of the baklava. And before adding the final 2 sheets, just spread the leftover stuffing. And after that I switched to oiling with some sunflower oil, because my butter was a little bit less than I anticipated. And basically close the baklava with the last 2 or 3 sheets. And I'll cut it, so after that our syrup can go into the cuts. And basically our baklava is ready for the oven. Put it in the middle of your oven and bake it with a fan on, if you have, on 200 degrees until it is golden brown like that. It will take around 15 or 20 minutes and it should be very crispy. This is essential for the baklava to be very crispy and golden brown. At least here's how we prepared it back in the day. And we should leave it aside so it can cool off. It's essential for the baklava, as I said in the intro, to be cool and the sauce to be hot, or the sauce to be cold and the baklava to be hot. Basically one of them should be hot, the other should be cold, so they can soak well. After that, time to prepare the syrup. 400 grams of water, 200 grams of sugar. You can add a little bit less sugar if you want, it will turn out nice again. A lemon,
Лимончето е важно за соса.
And basically start mixing, adding some vanilla and wait for everything to boil. I've tried doing it with 0-calorie sugar called erythritol and it works perfectly fine and you spare a lot of calories like that. So if you have erythritol, go with that. If you don't, go with sugar, you can do whatever you want. And just make again sure for the baklava to be cold and the sauce to be hot and basically put all of your syrup over the baklava.
А така хубаво да се напои със сос.
And let it soak and cool off. The baklava is eaten best when it's cold in my opinion.
Оставете я да почине след това.
Again, this is a personal preference, but yeah, that's basically it. This is our baklava. The Slav difficulty level for the baklava is 2 out of 5. Nothing like complicated for that. Just prepare baklava, prepare the sauce, unite them and enjoy this dessert. I serve 2 pieces here with some walnut pieces, like for it to be beautiful I guess. But yeah, now let's see final words and taste that baklava.
Абе, не очаквахме добре да направи баклавата.
This was quite easy, yeah. From start to finish, the active time of preparing this baklava is like 20 minutes maybe. The hardest part is to crush your walnuts and that's it. I mean, you just layer the stuff and pour some sugar syrup on top. The main thing that you should look for is one of both the baklava and the syrup to be hot, the other should be cold. In my case, I left the baklava to be cold for around 2 or 3 hours out of the oven. After that, I prepare the sauce and pour it all over. Basically, when there difference in the temperatures, the syrup will go very well in the baklava and it will really juice it up, as I like to say. And yeah, it's very easy. You can add other nuts, you can add cinnamon, I skipped it, but you can add it in the nut mixture. And of course you can add more nuts if you want. You can experiment quite a bit with this. And we typically cut it in squares, not in rhomboids like it's the traditional and commercial way to do that. But yeah, this is the authentic Slav way. I hope you liked it and you'll try it. And be careful because it's very, very sweet. You can adjust the sweetness by tasting the syrup and maybe putting a little bit less sugar. Fairly easy and great result. I hope you prepare it and you like it. Now I'll stay here eating my baklava and you can look at these 2 videos.
Остави за нас бе, всичко изяде.